And welcome back to Metropo Sports Center. My name is Nashon Oano. Today on Metropo Sports Center, I'm joined by Prince Nesta all the way from the US. Well, Nesta is at the University of Oregon in the US. Just a brief intro about Nesta. Nesta is a sports correspondent for Voice of America, and he's the CEO of Nesta News Network Radio. So thank you so much for joining me today, Nesta.
Thank you so much.
The time to talk to me.
I really appreciate it, Nash, and it's always a pleasure to be here.
So there's been the whole coronavirus pandemic going around, and I understand you're in the US. So maybe you could try paint a picture of how the situation is at the moment over there.
Yeah, the situation is pretty much, everything is at a standstill right now. If you look at people outside, there's no one walking around, everybody's on self-quarantine, people are practicing social distancing, and quite a sad scenario. The economy right now is at a standstill, and people are dying, others are getting infected. It's just it's crazy. Things are pretty crazy, but we shall overcome. I'm pretty sure that we shall overcome.
We shall overcome. This, just as any other pandemic that has faced humanity, I believe you're going to face it. Now, Nesta, maybe you could probably paint the picture for us, how the sports fraternity in the US, or the general feeling amongst the sports federation, has been at the moment right now, at the backdrop of all this coronavirus going on.
Yeah, sure. So, as you know, everything is at a standstill, including sports. If you recall, like some time back, the NBA was actually one of the sports federations that actually was first in terms of like stopping their season, and then after that, a lot of other sports actually followed suit in terms of postponing or canceling their seasons. And so right now, everything is at a standstill in regards to sports because and if you can see, they've been postponing. If you look at the World Athletics Championship, which is actually supposed to be held here in Eugene, Oregon, that's 2021, has been pushed to 2022. The NFL season has been postponed, and there's something about football exploring, identifying contingency plans, especially in regards to the 2020 season, because one of the things that they're exploring is that even the NBA is that, yes, they can return, they can come back and, for the league and, without fans, which means that players are just going to be playing without fans, being in the stadiums and stuff like that. But those are some of the contingency plans that they are, exploring, but we'll wait and see as time goes by, because as it stands now, nobody really knows exactly how this stuff is going to turn out.
Maybe you could try to paint a picture for us. How are the athletes themselves and the managers themselves coping with the whole situation? Sports is a fitness game altogether. So how are they trying to remain fit in case, for example, this whole thing comes to an end earlier than expected, and they're expected to get back to the field? So how are they coping in terms of training and something of the sort?
Yeah, I would say, and I've been following a lot of them on Instagram, on social media pages and stuff like that. Seems like they're actually training at home and, making sure that they keep it just in case the season resumes. But I've been following a lot of them. They have been, hitting some of, the gym work, just some of them practicing in the house. Some of them, have been showing videos of them swimming and exercising and stuff like that. So I would say pretty much right now, most athletes are still continuing with their, they're still continuing with training, and because, you never know, they can just decide that the season, if Corona decides that if the cases actually, becomes decreases, they can just decide that they will resume, and so they're just keeping fit and trying to keep fit just in case anything happens.
So in the English Premier League, there's been a whole conversation about salary cuts. Has that conversation been replicated, or have you had conversations of such in the sporting arena in the US at the moment?
Yeah, they're actually exploring sort of, deducting salaries of NBA players, first of all, football players, and even Major League Soccer, which is MLS. And they have been exploring those ones. I saw a proposal where they were actually saying that the NBA players should actually get like a 50% salary deduction. MLS, Major League Soccer players, there was a proposal that there should be a 25% deduction, and so yes, they're exploring such plans, but we'll wait and see because really we haven't seen them implement it yet, but they're still debating and exploring all these options because they have to also deal with the unions. These players are also part of a union, and so they have to defend their rights because, as you can see, a lot of players have actually been taking part of their salaries and paying for the staff in the stadium. They've been paying for their salaries and stuff like that. So it's like a sort of thing because it's not just easy to wake up one morning and decide to cut somebody's salaries. So they must have to have some back and forth.
From where you are, from your point of view, are you able to probably tell what has been the mood of the players themselves? Are they for the idea of getting salary cuts, or they're the idea of the management trying to find alternative solutions to this whole situation for them?
On a personal note, it's pretty tough actually to determine, but some would understand. I would like to put it that way. Some people would understand why their salary is being cut and stuff like that. And I would like to give reference to, Barcelona back in Europe, where you can pull to be, cut or deducted. And so I would pretty much say, while some people really understand, because, a lot of these sports activities depend on broadcasting rights, for instance. They depend on sponsors and stuff like that. They depend on getting paid in terms of like advertisements and stuff like that, and really everything has been at a standstill, and so there's no inflow of money coming into the organization, and so this organization actually in a sort of a limbo, caught up in a limbo. And so I would expect some players to actually understand why their salaries are going to be deducted, but as usual, nobody, including you and I, no one would like their salaries to be deducted.
Situation, you always want to have the whole money at hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another aspect that I would want to get your insight on is generally how have the football or the sports fans, wherever you are, that is in Oregon, how have they taken this whole cancellation and postponement thing? Are they found alternative ways to keep themselves entertained?
Yes, absolutely. I've been seeing personally. I've been running around. As much as we're practicing social distancing and self-quarantine, there's some things that you can still do. I've been seeing where I am here in Eugene, Oregon. A lot of people are actually, running around, exercising. As Oregon is actually the home of athletics in the United States. It's called Tracktown, USA, here in Eugene, Oregon. And so there's a culture of running and stuff like that. So as much as people are practicing social distancing, people are, exercising at the same time. Also, that, much as there's no sports on TV, people are so bored and stuff like that. Life is still going on. Someone like me, I'm still doing my doctoral education. I'm still having my classes online. Part of my work, I'm still doing stuff online. So there are other things that are keeping us busy. But esports especially is something that, is actually coming up. I've been seeing a lot of my friends and a lot of other sports enthusiasts actually, engaging in esports activities and stuff like that. So I would say yes. Indeed, it might be disadvantageous in such a way that we have nothing to watch on TV, but at the same time, it makes you become creative and figure out exactly what you want to do.
Nesta, you as we speak right now, you are at the center of the coronavirus, so to speak. I mean, the US has experienced a lot of deaths, a lot of infections. Maybe probably a word of advice for people over here in Kenya, where the situation has still not gone out of control compared to the United States.
Absolutely. Hey, Kenyans, and I'm a Kenyan just like you. I know what's going on in your mind. Sometimes you feel like, okay, I have to go out and, I have to survive. It's the same thing that was on Italians' minds as much when this thing was like when hundreds of people got infected, there are a lot of people who are still like skeptic in regards to the whole idea of coronavirus. They were like, hey, we gotta go out and make sure that, we feed our families and stuff like that. I totally understand the pain. With that said, the thing is, you have to practice social distancing. Quarantine is a must. This thing is a killer disease. It's no joke, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Some of my friends who are in other states were infected and they're battling for their lives. This thing is a killer disease. This is not like malaria. And I've been hearing all these things about, oh, we've overcome malaria, we've overcome all this stuff. This is not malaria. This is an invincible killer. And from the bottom of my heart, I would like to tell dear Kenyans to just make sure that you listen to what the government is telling you. Because here in the United States, thousands and thousands of people are dying each day. A lot of people are getting infected. And, if the United States, which is a first world country, is struggling in terms of coping up with these numbers, how about our own country? So make sure you take care of each other. And those who have it, should try and help other people who don't have it, because not everybody is going to really do well as far as, coping up with not going to work is concerned. They should also do something and, help their citizens, just like the way the United States just offered a stimulus package to its American workers. So the government should also step in and make sure that it takes care of its own citizens, especially in this time of need.
Thank you so much, Nesta. Looking forward to having you on the show and talking matter sports again once this whole coronavirus pandemic is done.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nation, and you're doing a great job as usual.
So much. It's a good night, right?
Yeah, it's a good night here. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, Nesta. And that was Prince Nesta joining us all the way from Eugene on Oregon. See you after the break.